Good evening. I would like to call the City of Mount Vernon City Council member meeting for January 10th, 2024 to order. Would you please rise with me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, item C on the agenda tonight is the roll call of council members. Will the city clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Beaton?
Here.
Councilmember Brocksmith?
Here.
Councilmember Correas?
Here.
Councilmember Hudson?
Here.
Councilmember Molinar?
Here.
Councilmember Tesoro?
Here.
Councilmember Vanderstoot?
Here.
Thank you. Community comments is the next item of business. There are no written comments sent into council tonight, so we'll move on to in-person public comments. Is there anyone present at council that would like to address council? Please step up to the podium. Great, welcome. Please step up to the podium, state your name and city of residence, and if you could limit your comments to about 3 to 5 minutes.
Good evening, everybody. First time I'm speaking on the podium. I'm not very familiar, but I would like to say thank you for your hard work. The main reason I'm here is I'm a construction worker. I know different projects around the city is being done or still in process, like the library or the big project uses Carcella just did, the big water main. Most of those projects, they have apprentices on construction. And I believe education is great for everybody. It's not just to be a doctor, lawyer, even on construction. It's dispensable to be have a school or the right training at least. I would like to help the workers to have more training and also implement it on the future jobs. The city can have more apprentices on the work. It's not just like, okay, you come to the prevailing wage and make a lot of money. I believe it's some steps when they have to go to school and learn the right process to do the work. Especially right now, it's a lot of drivers distracted on the road. And even some companies, they don't respect the laws. I live in Mount Vernon. I drive around. I have my family here. There's a project on Section Street, trucks parking on the sidewalk. Come on, it's close to school. It's a lot of people walking on the sidewalks. I don't think it's respectful for different companies. Just park on the sidewalk with no reason. When they have the big job site inside, they can park inside. That's my main concern right now. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other public comments tonight? All right, seeing no other comments, we'll move on to item 3, which is the consent agenda. Tonight's consent agenda includes council minutes, payroll checks, wire transfers, claims, and 2 agreements, one for public defense and one for senior services. Would council like to move adoption of tonight's consent agenda? I would entertain a motion from anyone. And I'm beginning to believe that this may be a prank on my first night presiding over a meeting.
I'd like to welcome Peter as mayor. We were contemplating a recall for the close election you went through, but we appreciate having you here. We look forward to working with you, so I would make a motion to approve that.
I'm so relieved. Thank you, Councilmember Molinar, for the motion. Thank you, Councilmember Beaton, for the second. Is there any discussion, any further discussion, Council? I pray not.
I would actually just like to say that I'm thankful we have our own Mayor Pete.
Thank you, Councilmember Hudson. All right, those in favor of adopting the motion to approve the consent agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, please say no. The motion to approve the consent agenda passes. Moving on to reports, we have a Public Works and Library Committee report, and I believe the gentleman from Ward 2 would be reporting on this, Councilmember Gary Molinar.
Thank you, Peter. We opened the meeting tonight at 6 o'clock. First up, Chris Phillips gave us an update about the possible snow conditions that are in the works, maybe for this weekend and the cold weather. Just to let you know that that we have some information on our website for the city. You can find out all the different roads that will be emphasis, especially going up Lincoln Hill towards our hospital and Blackburn. So again, you can find a lot of that information on our website. Next, we talked about Riverside Drive project, and there's gonna be some redoing of configurations, lanes, and different bike lanes, and also repaving, and just a real good cleanup of that whole arterial that goes through there. Right now, we're just in the planning and looking at some of the things that the community wants to have in that area. So we already had a meeting on November 16th, and that was a community open house, and we provided some general themes and comments. Next open house is a business roundtable scheduled on March 21st, 24, from 2 to 3 at the police court campus auxiliary room, which is right next door to us. That was pretty much the most of the meeting that was spent on that issue alone. So we closed the meeting at 6:59.
Great. Thank you, Gary. Council member comments. Are there any council member comments this evening? Yes, Councilmember Hudson.
I would like to welcome our two new council members, Navor Tesoro, right here, Andrew Vanderstoop down there. Thank you for your willingness to serve, and congratulations on your elections. We have a lot of things to get done, and I know you're both ready to work hard and learn a lot, so welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary. Any other comments? Councilmember Cuddy.
Yes, I would like also to give the welcome to my two colleagues here, Andrew and Nabo. I'm just excited to see working together and just do our best for the community. And plus, given the new mayor, Peter Donovan, being our welcome, and we are so excited to work with you.
Thank you. All right, yes, lots of new faces tonight. Thank you, most of you, for making us feel welcome. Item C tonight is the mayor's report, and if I could get Isaac Huffman to help me out with the slides on this one. Thanks, Isaac. So we're gonna take a look at the Library Commons construction. The latest update, and I believe these photos were taken either today or in the last couple of days. The garage ramp has been poured. We're likely gonna see crews pouring the alley area just on the southern side of the building in the next month or so. You're seeing a lot of internal work here in this photo being done on the first floor. It's things like framing, HVAC, plumbing, electrical rough-in. All of that is going on right now. And in the next photo, you see the structural steel for the elevator and the stairwells that's continuing to progress on the left there. And I'm told that the two sets of stairs that are gonna be housed in this steel framing that you see there, the stairs themselves will actually be prefabricated and lowered down into that framework by a crane, and then welded and secured into place there. So I'm hoping to be able to catch that. That would be quite a sight, I think, from across the street. But you can see on the other side there, more work on the brick masonry, the windows, louvers throughout the first floor. Those are all in progress. So lots going on downtown at the construction site, Mount Vernon Library Commons. And wait, I'm just getting this in through my fake earpiece. We've been told we have some breaking news out of Washington, D.C. Isaac, thank you for the graphic. This just in, the city of Mount Vernon has been awarded a grant from the U.S. Department of Transportation, U.S. DOT's Charging and Fueling Infrastructure Grant Program. This was established under the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law to strategically deploy publicly accessible EV charging infrastructure nationwide. And as you know, our Library Commons project includes that. Former Mayor Jill Boudreau, Library Director Isaac Huffman, a number of other Mount Vernon City staff applied for this grant last year. And oh my goodness, what a wait that has been. Just found out early this week that the city will receive $12.5 million for this Library Commons project. Yeah, that's something to celebrate. I too thought that was a typo. It is not. $12.5 million. So for those of you following this project closely over the last couple of years, you know that this award gets the city over the finish line, which is fantastic news. The city has fully funded this nearly $54 million public amenity without a single increase in local taxes. So I personally want to thank Mayor Boudreau, all of our past council members for your persistence, your vision, your courage in getting this city to the funding finish line of this, the largest investment in local public infrastructure in Mount Vernon's history. So well done, and thank you to those council members who served here. And finally, but not as exciting. Well, I think it's exciting. They're back. Mayor's Coffee Hour. I'd like to invite the public to join me on Friday, February 2nd from 10 to 11 a.m. right here at the Mount Vernon Police Court campus. We're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, the city of Mount Vernon and city government. That means you can show up with questions, concerns, frustrations, or my favorite, great ideas for improvements. We can talk about what the city does, what we're doing, where your tax dollars are going, and how we can shape the vision of this city together. So I am asking Mount Vernon residents to engage with your government so that we can make this a better place. This is an open door for that type of engagement. And it's first of many opportunities this year. My hope and plan now is to have these about every 3 weeks or so. All right, other than that, since it is my first city council meeting as mayor, I also wanted to let council know how much I am looking forward to working alongside all of you this year. I think we have some incredible opportunities, as Councilmember Hudson pointed out, ahead of us. And I have the utmost respect for each of you and the talents and the passion that you bring to the city. So Happy New Year, and let's get after it this year. All right, agenda item D is committee agenda requests. Are there any agenda requests for future council committee meetings? All right, hearing none. There is no unfinished business tonight, so we move on to new business. Under new business, item A is the council election of Mayor Pro Tempore. City Attorney Kevin Rogerson will present this item for council tonight. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of City Council, and welcome to the new City Council members. Say welcome, Mayor Donovan, but you've been here before. Municipal code requires the City Council, after each general municipal election and thereafter, whenever a vacancy occurs, to elect from among your number a Mayor Pro Tempore. The duties of Mayor Pro Tem are, in the case of an absence, death, or disability of the mayor, to perform the duties of mayor, except it is a limited office, and that he or she does not have the power to appoint or remove any officer or veto an ordinance. The appointment of a council person as Mayor Pro Tem shall not in any way abridge his or her right to vote upon all questions coming for council. So if you were functioning as a Mayor Pro Tem and sitting on the dais, he would still vote as a council person as well.
All right. Council, I'd like to do this in two parts. I'd like to open the floor for nominations, and after the nominations are made, close that, and then we'll reopen for voting for the nominees. So I will do that now. If you'd like to, Councilmember Hudson.
Yes,
Would
thank
you
you.
like to make a nomination?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to nominate Councilmember Molinar.
Okay.
Second.
Let's just do, all of the nominations now, so we won't vote on them yet. Other nominations for Mayor Pro Tem.
I would like to nominate Richard Brocksmith.
Any other nominations?
If he accepts, of course.
All right. I would entertain a motion to close the nominations, unless there are others.
So moved.
Is a second?
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion by Councilmember Cicero and a second by Melissa. All those in favor of the motion to close the nominations, please say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, please say no. All right, so the nominations are closed, and we will move on now to vote for council's nominees for 2024 Mayor Pro Tem. So the way that we do this would be to begin with the first that was mentioned, and then move on to the second. If 4 or more vote aye for the first, then there would be no need to move on to the second. I think you can follow along. All right. Councilmember Brock Smith.
If I may, I'm very appreciative of that nomination, and I think I've just found out that I'm going to be Development Services Chairperson. I have plenty on my plate in that and other regards, so, and I have 100% confidence in Gary and Peter working together, so I'd just be happy to withdraw my nomination and move for acclamation for Gary for the position, if that's okay. Thank you.
Any other comments or discussion? No. All right, we're gonna jump right into the voting then. So, getting with Councilmember Molinar, all those in favor of electing Councilmember Gary Molinar, well, kind of, to 2024 Mayor Pro Tem, please say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, say no. The ayes have it. Councilmember Molinar has been elected by council to serve the remainder of 2024 as Mayor Pro Tem. All right, thank you, Kevin. Thanks, council.
Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Gary.
You just better be around a lot. No extended vacations.
That's right. All right, item B tonight is a presentation from Community Action of Skagit County. And at this time, I'd like to introduce and invite to the podium Community Action's Executive Director, Mr. Bill Hinkle. Bill's going to come up to the podium tonight, brief council on the latest happenings at Community Action. Bill, thank you again for being here.
Did you have a presentation?
We should have sent a PowerPoint.
Let's just grab it.
Is that it?
And we are browsing for the presentation right now.
There you are.
I think we found it.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Slide. Ready?
Just one second.
Down. Is it sideways or down for you?
Then it's over or click the button.
Great, all right.
Thanks, Isaac.
Thank you. Good evening. If you don't know me, I'm Bill Hinkle, Executive Director, Community Action, Skagit County. It's a delight to be here. Congratulations to the new council members and Mayor Donovan. It's a pleasure, and those of you who've been serving for a while, thank you for hanging in there for the long haul. You're an amazing group of leaders, and it's been great to be in partnership with the city of Mount Vernon on several fronts over the years. I also wanted to thank Richard. He has been our board president for 4 years and has poured more blood, sweat, and tears into the community and the organization than I have seen in my professional career. So he's stepping back as our board chair, but has done so much for the community and for the organization. So I wanted to thank him for his leadership and service. We've got a great new group of officers, including Greg Davidson, who many of you know, used to be with Skagit Regional Health. Kate Bennett is our VP from Leadership Skagit of the past. Danny Hagan, the county assessor, is our treasurer. And Sylvia Reed, who's an amazing human being from Mount Vernon Chamber, is our secretary. Commissioner Wiesen is also on our board. We've got an incredible group of leaders, and we're proud of them. We're also proud of having clean audits and being incredibly accountable to our supporters and funders for years now. And that's very important to us. Tonight I'm here to give you an update on Community Action's mission and our goals and some of our accomplishments. I see some of you have cracked open our gift. That's our kind of hot off the press 2023 impact report. I'll hit some highlights from that tonight. And I'm hoping to show how our partnership with the city of Mount Vernon can help forward some of your goals to serve the city and its residents. So that will be my goal for this evening. We believe that working together we can help people struggling to pay bills today and also address the community conditions so that everyone has a chance to thrive. Our goal is always to work collaboratively, whether it's with local governments, state government, our federal partners, other jurisdictions, with coalitions, so that we can stabilize lives and help families meet their goals. And tonight I'm going to try to highlight what we call our key performance indicators, our impacts in 3 areas. And again, you have some leave behinds, but I'll touch on housing and homeless prevention, food and nutrition, and family resiliency, and also how we might work together to address some of the root causes of poverty. But first, it's always important to start with people. We, at Community Action, we want to put people at the center of the solution, their own solution, and working together the solution for our community. The picture is Rachel. She's one of our service screeners. She's welcoming a father who is seeking resources for her family at our Mount Vernon Resource Center. You should know that all kinds of people come through the doors of Community Action. We have seniors, veterans, families with kids, people who are living unhoused, and workers struggling to make ends meet. And sometimes people come in, nobody's needs are simple, but sometimes they're a little bit more immediate. They need a connection to a resource that can help them take the next steps themselves. Some come to us because something's changed in the household. There might be a death in the family or an illness or disability. In some cases, their rents are skyrocketing. You know the story, or have heard the story. Or the number of wage earners has changed in their household, or another emergency comes up and there's not enough to pay the bills. It's a short-term crisis. Other people come in seeking to make a longer-term plan, and that might be a more complicated, longer-term issue. They're ready to create positive change in their lives, whether it's to enter recovery and treatment, try to get a GED, which is not an easy thing to do, a better job, or to save for a rainy day. And the people on our staff who we call our care coordinators, who are there to walk beside people, help them set and work towards life goals, learn about tools and resources that can help them on their journey, get help applying for short-term help, and in many cases make a longer-term plan for education, some growth in employment, often in trying to get to that magic affordability and housing thing that's so elusive, whatever they need to move forward, not just getting by, but getting ahead. Working together with our staff, volunteers, donors, businesses, and partners like you, the City of Mount Vernon, we're making measurable changes. We're proud of some of the numbers from 2022, and we're starting to collect 2023. You'll notice that there's a column here for countywide, the number of people who we helped avoid homelessness in 2022. Again, we're not quite done tabulating 2023, was over 2,500. And in Mount Vernon, we were able to find 571 in 2023. Number of people who we were able to house, 227 countywide, 57 in the city of Mount Vernon from 2023. And people served by our street outreach team, who do incredibly brave, important work, was 512 back in 2022. That has really grown over the course of last year. In Mount Vernon alone, it was 507. The big reason we're successful in helping people avoid homelessness and helping people who are unhoused find housing is often building relationships, and sometimes that relationship is at the community level. A very obvious example with the city of Mount Vernon is with Mount Vernon PD, your embedded social worker, and that team and our street outreach team working together. Often that relationship is with the human being. Sometimes that human being is living on your streets or the streets of a neighboring community. That relationship of trust is vital for moving forward. And with that relationship of trust, our goal is to try to wrap people in support so that they can move towards stability and, in time, their goals. In addition to working in homeless prevention and housing, community action is helping Mount Vernon residents access nutritious food. Some of you know that we own and run, began with a partnership with Skagit County, the Food Distribution Center in Cedar-Woolley, which works with the entire network, emergency food network, including Neighbors in Need right here, to get food to the food banks to get out to people. And part of what we do often at the Food Distribution Center is hook up with agricultural partners. We, for instance, just accessed a $1 million We Feed Washington grant, $500,000 a year to buy local produce, dairy, and protein, mostly local, and get it out into the emergency food network. It's an incredible resource. And between our Food Distribution Center, our WIC, Women, Infant, and Children program, and helping the people to sign up to basic food, Community Action helped feed over 4,500 households in Mount Vernon alone in 2022. And we're still tabulating 2023. With federal resources decreasing, especially after COVID, but community needs rising, we believe it's really important to continue to support that key community infrastructure. Now, of course, I'm sure you all have heard the comments from your constituents that rent is too high, that food is too expensive, and that many people need help paying just the basic bills. At Community Action, we not only help lower income folks pay the bills, such as energy bills, or to gas to get to work or to an appointment. We're also there to help them hook into higher ed, to get a better education, to get their GED, to learn English, or to help them get a better job. We help veterans apply for the benefits that they deserve for their service that are unfortunately often very complicated to navigate systems like the VA, or to get tax rebates to get some of their hard-earned money back. In terms of measuring progress on bigger, longer-term goals and getting at some of the root causes, we believe everyone who lives and works in Skagit County should have a safe and affordable place to call home. This year, thanks to a collaboration with the City of Burlington, with a private developer, with some private investment, with some community generosity, with Skagit County, we were able to open 34 new apartment units in Burlington. That's called Cascade Landing. In Mount Vernon, with the help often of your city staff, we were thankful for the recent rezone. We purchased property on Colson View near LaVenture Middle School. Many of you have heard us talk about that project before, and we're looking to build 50-plus apartment units there near LaVenture, potentially in a partnership with Mount Vernon School District to house at-risk students and their families. It's a big project. We need your partnership, and we're working it best we can, and we appreciate. We've had a lot of input. Iris is one who's helped guide us early on and trying to figure that out. That Colson View project is an example of what's needed in every jurisdiction. In sum, our goal is to work in collaboration with you, the city of Mount Vernon. We hope to be a helpful informant of the realities of your citizens with limited incomes or who might be facing homelessness. As a partner with the Mount Vernon PD and the embedded social workers, by investing the resources like CDBG that you've contributed to community action to help connect people to the support that they need to survive and thrive, and as a partner in achieving your own goals in terms of housing. And even working through GMA requirements such as HB 1220 from the state, which stipulates that every city must plan for and accommodate their local affordable housing needs in every income stream. I know that you all, many of you know about that. From 0 to 30% AMI, 30 to 50, 50 to 80, 80 to 100, 100 to 120 and above. The above part is pretty easy to take care of, I think. It's the rest where partnerships are necessary, or we're not going to crack that nut. And we're here to help in any way we can. We have an ambitious project. We have a piece of property. We have some great starts on partnerships. And it's the kind of thing that I think can help the city of Mount Vernon achieve its own goals, and even some of the requirements that sometimes come from the state. So I'll leave it at that. I really appreciate, I'm honored to be here, Mayor Donovan, on your first, I thought it was the second, but I don't know. I feel like I won some special prize to be here on your first, and to watch the prank go down, and to welcome the two of you. I hope that we can get together for coffee and connect that way, as well as with the rest of you good folks. So thank you very much for your
Bill, thank you. And council members, do you have questions for Bill?
If it's appropriate.
Absolutely.
Do you have any budget provisos this year in the state budget?
We do, yeah, for Colson View, $309,000. It's in the governor's budget, and we still have to get it in the, convince the legislature. Rep. Rammel got us an initial $309,000, and and that went through. That was the last round, and this is helping us keep the project moving. As we get ready for the bigger capital ask, because the numbers start to get pretty big.
Sure. And I have one additional, if that's all right. And I have more than one additional, but maybe coffee sometime. I was just wondering, with the energy assistance, are you working with local PUDs and PSEs to provide that?
Yes, yep. As well as federal, it's called LIHEAP funding, which is low-income energy and heating program, but we also, PSE is a major contributor, and we're also delving into water assistance and the like, so we're kind of branching out.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Other council member questions? All right. Well, thanks again, Bill,
Thank
for
you.
taking time out of your Wednesday night to
Yeah.
sit in the gallery and laugh at me.
No. Inspired by. All right, thank you very much.
Glad you're
Thanks,
here.
Bill.
Thank you. All right, moving on. Item C tonight is a proposed resolution and a closed record public hearing. Wow, staff has loaded my first agenda with complex items. A resolution and a closed record public hearing for a request for approval of a site plan modification of a continuation of non-conforming use and a variance. And City Senior Planner Marianne Manville Ailes is here to present. And they're getting the presentation up. Welcome, Marianne. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor Donovan and council. It's nice to see some new faces. For those of you that don't know me, I am Marianne Manville Ailes, and I am senior planner with the city of Mount Vernon. And I have been here as an employee for a few years and as a consultant for many, many years. So it's nice to see new faces. So tonight, the item before you is the consideration of a resolution to modify the Viewmont Estates Mobile Home Park site plan. It also includes a non-conforming alteration to continue the use and variance to the lot lines. And here's the outline that we'll be going through tonight of the different things that we'll go over with you. So first, the recommendation, the department respectfully requests that council hold a closed record public hearing and considers the hearing examiner's recommendation to adopt the attached resolution based on the findings of fact and conclusions of law that were contained in the hearing examiner's recommendation. This is the vicinity map, shows you where the Viewmont Estates Mobile Home Park is located overall. These two drawings show you the one on the left, the one that says lot layout on it. It shows the entire lot layout for the mobile home park. You can see where my cursor is. These are the two new sites that are being proposed with this proposal. And on the right, this shows the kind of how the mobile home will fit onto those lots. I do want to point out that the hearing examiner did include a condition in his recommendation that to have the parking be side by side instead of be tandem, and there is plenty of room for that on here. The parking would look something like it would be here and here rather than the tandem parking back here. So just so that you know that, and it probably would be, I probably should have gone here because it would have been a little easier for you to see. But this is a close-up of it, and I did want to point out that this lot 99 that we're talking about is irregularly shaped. It comes up, and this corner here has been kind of lopped off because the existing site was already there, and so they couldn't fit the whole thing on without the overlap. And I also wanted to point out that where it says existing building here, the part that's cut off of this, because this is a blow up out of their thing, the part that's cut off says to be removed, so that you know that is not going to be encroaching onto the lot. So the description of the project is the proposal. It's the modification of the Viewmont Estates Mobile Home Park to add 2 additional sites to the park, which would bring the total number to 99. And as I showed you, the site 99 as proposed is irregularly shaped. It has that corner hacked off of it. And because of that, it doesn't conform to the width and depth requirements that we have in the mobile home park zoning designation. And so the applicant is requesting a variance from those requirements. I will point out that it does meet all of the building envelope for it still meets all of the required setbacks. And also the existing mobile home park includes a non-conforming condition, and that is the lack or a reduced amount of common open space. And because of that, a non-conforming alteration approval is also included within this request to allow the park to continue to operate. A little bit of background. Some of you saw this, a very similar proposal to this in 2020 when we were in, because they had asked to add the 2 sites. And at that time, they were asking to add them right next to each other on one side of the road. And when that was approved and completed, they went to get mobile homes to put on the sites, and what they were able to source was not able to fit onto the lots that had been created. And we worked with them for quite a while. We tried to figure how we could reconfigure and get it to work, and we just couldn't. So after the project expired, after 2 years. And so last year, they came back in with a new proposal with these larger lots, one on each side of the road, and the request to need to cut off the corner of the one to fit everything in. I will remind you, and to let those of you who weren't here in 2020 know that in addition to these 2 sites, they are also reconfiguring where they store their RV parks now, their RVs now to that RV storage area they have in there. They're reconfiguring that to have to pave it and to have it improved for circulation in that area as well. And that's where that building that was going to be removed is. That's kind of where they store them now, kind of helter-skelter on it, but they're gonna organize that and make it a lot nicer. And they will be adding landscaping. The addition of the 2 sites is consistent with what is allowed density for the mobile home park. And like I said, the mobile home park currently does not meet the requirement for open space. And that's because when it was originally approved, it was before we had the requirement for the amount of open space. So when it was approved, it already didn't have enough, but that was what it was when it was approved. So it was never going to be able to have enough. And in this proposal, as I said, they will include additional landscaping to mitigate for the open space shortage. And like the previous application, the hearing examiner did include a condition requiring side-by-side parking versus the tandem parking that are on the other lots in the park, and that's what I showed you when we started. So the regulatory contracts for this, Mount Vernon Municipal Code, Chapter 1739-150, which is the mobile home park zoning designation, has a process for adopting the modifications to site plans for the mobile home parks. And that process gives the approval authority to the city council with the recommendation of the hearing examiner. So there's a hearing at the hearing examiner, and then we come before you. And Mount Vernon Municipal Code, Chapter 17-102-070 includes a process that allows the alteration or continuation of a non-conforming use. Some of you might be very familiar with that because we talked about it a lot last year. And Mount Vernon Municipal Code 17-105-050 has the process to allow variances from the zoning code. And the approval authority for both of those permits is given to the hearing examiner, which is why you typically don't see those. But we also have in Mount Vernon Municipal Code 1405-080I a process that allows consolidated review for multiple permit applications. And under this process, all the associated applications are subject to the highest level of review authority that applies to the application. So in this case, because the mobile home park site plan modification requires council action after the hearing examiner, that's why you are seeing all of these requests. So the next step that it's for you to you have options. You can approve the resolution that is before the council, which would approve the request. You can approve the resolution that's before council with additional conditions that you might want to add. You can remand the application back to the Development Services Department, and then it would also then go back to the hearing examiner as well. Or you can reject the resolution before council, thereby denying the request. And that's what I have. So if you have questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them for you.
Thank you, Mary Ann. Council, that was a lot. Do you have questions for Mary Ann before we? Yes.
Do you mind pulling up the map again? And I don't have a question, I have a comment on this particular instance. So as you're pulling up the map, you'll notice that Kiwanis actually put in a park across the street. And so if you look at where the park is located, and then you look at the hearing examiner report about why they are no longer doing the parking the way that they used to, is because on either side of the street, the cars park along that entire thing, and it's in a curved shape, it's a U. And so you have a 2-lane road and cars stacked on either side, and then you have a park across the street. That didn't used to be there, that is now there as of last year. So my comment is that it is a potentially dangerous situation. It has nothing to do with accepting this, but it would be something maybe Development Services to potentially look into mitigating any sort of accidents that could happen in the future. Okay. And that's my only comment.
Other council member questions? comments? All right, seeing no more comments, we will open up the closed record public hearing for this item. If any member of record, and just as a reminder, this isn't an open record where anyone can speak. This is just those folks who have already been or are already on record in this manner. If anyone on record is here to speak, go ahead, please step forward. I understand we may have someone online joining us by Zoom. But if you wanted to let us know that you wanted to speak and state your name, that'd be great.
Yes. Professional engineer. I'm with Hewitt Zollers, the applicant for this application. And we are in support of what has been recommended by the hearing examiner, and we ask your approval of this item.
Thank you, Mr. Sosby. Anyone else care to comment on this item? All right, with that we will close the closed record public hearing. Council, would you like to make a motion to approve this? This would be resolution 1051.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 1051.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on this item? Just for the clerk, I'm going to clarify the motion approving the Viewmont Estates Mobile Home Park's request to modify its site plan, continue a non-conforming condition and variance to reduce lot lines consistent with Mount Vernon's Municipal Code, Chapters 1405, 1739-150, 17102, and 17105. All those in favor of approving resolution 1051, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. All right, the motion passes.
Thank you.
Resolution passes.
Thanks for reading all that for me, Peter.
All right,
Mayor?
thank you, Mary Ann. Yes, sir.
Just following up on Councilmember Vanderstoop's comment, I was hoping we could forward that to the Traffic Safety Committee to kind of look at that area and think about pedestrian safety in that area. When I read the report, it was interesting that a lot of the parking comes from Viewmont. It's very dense parking on the street, and so it is a little bit of a worry. But it's also interesting that Viewmont has more parking in it than is currently required. So there's just a lot of cars, a lot of people. And so it'd just be nice to have the Traffic Safety Committee, which is a interdepartmental group that brings expertise from various departments, to just take a look at the scene and see how it's functioning.
I'll just add one maybe funny thing to that, which is that when they were installing the soccer goals before the nets were up, the kids started playing, and that created quite a ruckus because they were facing towards traffic and all the balls were hitting cars.
No nets in the goal.
It was fantastic.
Well, Becky, did you get that request for Traffic Safety Committee? All right, thank you. All right, item D on tonight's agenda is a street closure request for Illuminate Winter Walk, and Mount Vernon Parks Director Jennifer Berner is here tonight with that item. Jennifer.
Great, thank you. Welcome and to our new members and our new mayor. Nice to see a full council up there this evening. Wanted to bring you this evening our Illuminate Winter Walk event. This is an event that has been going on for 10 years, and so it's our 10-year anniversary. It is whenever we have a street closure, that is when we will bring that to council. Just for our new council members, wanted to make sure that you guys understood why this is coming to you, because there's a street closure for this particular event. The street closure that we're looking to do for this event is, the event takes place on the Riverwalk, on the plaza, and we have some vendors and some booths and things that are there, and then we do an actual Illuminate walk where there's luminaries that people bring, and we do a walk that will head north up to Montgomery on the Riverwalk, and then we cut over on Montgomery and then go south on First Street, and then we will be cutting up on Pine Street and going back up to the Riverwalk and circling back up to the plaza there. And so the street closure will be for First Street and those adjoining streets where First Street intersects with some of our other side streets along the way to keep the path straight for our walkers, keep it safe. So with that, we are requesting a street closure for January 26th for the Illuminate Walk. If there's any questions, more than happy to answer those for you.
Questions for Jennifer?
I think it's a great event, and I'd make a motion to pass approval of the street closure.
Second.
It was moved by Gary, it was seconded by Andrew. Any further discussion on the street closure request? All right, I'll ask those in favor of this Illuminate street closure request to signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. All right, the ayes have it. Street closure request for the 2024 Illuminate Walk has been approved. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it. All right, the final item on tonight's agenda is item E, approval of an enterprise agreement with Microsoft, and IT Director Mary Thomas will present this item tonight. Hi, Mary.
Hi, welcome. Welcome to the new members, and thank you, Mayor Donovan. So I'm here to present, we're recommending that the council authorize the mayor to sign our 3-year Microsoft Enterprise Agreement that will span January of 2024 through December 31st of 2026. And what the Enterprise Agreement does is it locks in our pricing for the Microsoft licensing, and that's not just for like M365, but it's for a lot of the volume licensing program. So what that does is they can't raise it, it's stuck at the state rate. So that's really what we're looking for, and it's a 3-year span of time, and then in 3 years we go through this again.
All right. You have questions for Mary?
What's the total contract cost?
The total contract cost for all of our licensing is about $174,000 a year.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Other questions? All right. Council's prepared to move this item to question. I would entertain a motion to authorize the city to enter into this 3-year enterprise agreement with Microsoft.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Mary, second by Gary. Is there any further discussion on it? Seeing none, I'll ask those council members who are in favor of authorizing the mayor to enter into the 3-year enterprise agreement with Microsoft, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say no.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. And that is the end of our city council agenda for January 10th, 2024. At this time, I would like to kindly direct the city attorney to call the mayor and members of council to executive session.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Members of the City Council, I invite you to enter into an executive session with legal counsel regarding enforcement actions, litigation, or potential litigation to which the city, the governing body, or a member acting in an official capacity is or is likely to become a party when public knowledge regarding such discussion is likely to result in either adverse legal or financial consequence to the city. This would be pursuant to RCW 4230 subsection 110(1)(I), and we would reconvene at 8:06. Would be a 10-minute executive session.
And with that, tonight's City of Mount Vernon City Council meeting will adjourn into executive session at 7:56 p.m.